We're going to get started because we have lots of great information to get to today. So thank you, James. It's great to be back here on a beautiful, clear, sunny day at the Rhinecliff. And before we get started, I'd like to recognize our elected officials who were able to join us this morning, or if they weren't elected, they're representing some wonderful elected officials. So our town supervisor, Elizabeth Cynthia. Thank you. And Senator Cicerino is in Albany this morning, and so representing her is Lydia Biscup. And I'm assuming maybe Assemblymember Cahill is in Albany as well, but we have Brian Kelly here representing his office. So thank you all for being here this morning. So let's take a moment to go around the room and introduce ourselves. And this table looks like they've finished eating a little sooner than everybody else. So Dawn, you want to start?
My name is Dawn Morse, and I'm the Executive Director of the Northern Dutchess Hospital Foundation.
Congratulations on Taste of Rhinebeck.
Thank you.
Mark Fleischhauer, President Rhinebeck School Board.
Dr. Josh Burkhardt, Rhinebeck Chiropractic, Board of the Rhinebeck Area Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning, Greg Rakow, Phelan Rakow, Insurance and Real Estate.
Good morning, my name is Joe Phelan. I'm the Superintendent of the Rhinebeck Central School District and your speaker today.
Good morning all, I'm John Gay from J&J Automotive here in Rhinebeck.
Hello, my name is Allie Lively. I represent Hudson Valley Foundation for Youth Health. I do have a fundraiser and I'm begging for help on auction items if anybody could help me out. It's what we give out grants to nonprofits in my area is 12571, 12572. So if you know anybody that's nonprofit, I know there's a lot in this room. I have Southland Farms, Rhinebeck Performing Arts, Astor Home, a lot 4-H for the fair, and after-school programs. So if you can help me, I can help you. So thank you.
When's your fundraiser?
May 2nd.
So time is up, yes.
I know. So please help. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gail Associate, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Realtor for commercial and residential.
Susan Utter, Rhinebeck Bank Residential Mortgage Lender.
Erica Sammons, Financial Advisor with New Horizons Asset Management Group.
Janet Trupiano Uniform Company, and a board member.
Ben Loya with Citizens Bank, Vice President in Education Finance, and I handle New York and New Jersey.
Karen Miller with Rondat Savings, Residential Mortgages.
Ken, you're up.
Kathy Burnham, Citizens Bank, today's sponsor.
Ken Brown, Citizens Bank, Business Banking Officer and Commercial Loans.
David Andrick, A1 Home Inspection, your Sherlock Holmes.
Michelle Andrick, Designs by M Interior Design.
Well, I was introduced, but I'm Lydia Biscup. I work for Senator Serino. I'm the director of her district offices. In my former life, I was a professor at Marist College.
Sonia Moorhead, Astor Services for Children and Families.
Okay. Good morning. I'm Scott Bergen, McCabe Mac LLP, attorneys at law, former board member and president of this fine organization, and on the board of Astor.
Good morning, Randy.
Sorry, Scott, do you have an event coming up you want to
Oh, okay. No, that's don't worry about it. Okay.
Randy from Northern Dutchess Real Estate, a local real estate with a global reach. Thank you.
I'm Nina Lynch. I'm president of the board of Rhinebeck and Home, a member organization that's helping people stay in their homes as they age. Not for profit.
Brian Kelly from Assemblymember Cahill's office, legislative aide / district representative. Elizabeth Spenziana, Town Supervisor of Rhinebeck.
Good morning, Victoria Polidoro, attorney at Rodenhausen Shaw in Rhinebeck.
Good morning, Mary Beth Kale from Kale Communications, Public Relations to put the wind in your sails, and also executive coaching. And I just want to mention that if you look at my website, marybethkale.com, you'll see all kinds of trainings that are great for employee teams: stress management, effective communication in the workplace, customer service, time management, on and on and on. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Sean Kemp. I'm the president of the Rhinebeck Area Chamber of Commerce, and I also am the law office of Sean M. Kemp. I just want to take a moment to thank everybody for coming to today's breakfast. It's a great showing, and I think it's a very big thanks to Citizens Bank for sponsoring the breakfast, but also to the Rhinebeck Board of Education. I think it says a lot about our community to see this type of response to the speaker today. So thank you all very much.
Tracy Shelbury, Innocent Center for Autism. On May 2nd, we have our annual Autism Tomorrow conference. So if you are interested, check out our website, and you can register from there.
Colleen Contrini, Anderson Center for Autism.
Kelly Caldwell, Rondout Savings Bank, Branch Manager, Hyde Park.
Meredith Brinkman, Hotel Tivoli and the Corner Restaurant. Jeanette Bone, I'm also part of Hotel Tivoli in the Corner.
Michael Levy, accountant and senior partner, Financial Services Center.
Good morning, Betsy Levy, Financial Services Center, Insurance Agency. We sell life insurance, health insurance, long-term care, and disability.
Lady in the pink back there.
Claudia Cooley, and I did independent sales with Chronogram. And thank you for everyone who let me bother you with calls for our Rhinebeck Chamber Visitor Guide, which I believe will be out maybe this week.
Yeah, it should be. I'm hoping it was delivered yesterday to the fairground.
So y'all get your copies in the mail any day now. So thank you for that.
Yes, thank you. We hit our target for advertising in the guide, and so I really, really appreciate that. I'm excited to be able to get them out to everybody, to the B&Bs, the hotels, the fairgrounds, and I'll be partnering with Duchess Tourism and Enjoy Rhinebeck and going to the Hartford Current travel show on May 2nd, which is a really well-attended show and great for our area. So thank you all, that I'm proud to take a beautiful guide. So coming up, we have a couple of events. We have our, actually there's a big joint business after hours with the Duchess, Hyde Park, Red Hook, and Rhinebeck Chambers at the Beekman Arms on Wednesday, April 29th, so next Wednesday. RSVPs are a must because there's only so much room in the Beekman Arms. So I'll be sending out that invite. You can respond to that, please. And our next business, then we have another business after hours, the Rhinebeck Chambers, at May 14th, Thursday, at the Red Hook Golf Club, and that's sponsored by Rhinebeck Bank. And our next breakfast is Wednesday, May 27th at Dinsmore. And the presenters will be Linda Cooper. She is the Regional Director of the New York State Parks Taconic Region, and Regina Armstrong. And they'll be speaking on the economic importance of the great estates in New York. So that should be really interesting. I'm excited for that one. And then we have the Summer Sidewalk Sale Days coming up May 15th through 17th. So at this time, I'd like to introduce our sponsor, Citizens Bank. Citizens Financial Group is one of the oldest and largest financial services firms in the United States. Headquartered in Providence, Rhode Island, where its roots date back to 1828, Citizens offers retail and commercial banking products and services to individuals, small businesses, middle market companies, large corporations, and institutions. In September 2014, Citizens Financial Group became a publicly traded company in the largest commercial bank initial public offering in U.S. history. Today I'd like to introduce to you Kathy Burnham, a branch manager here in the Rhinebeck office. After a 28-year career working in the national consumer credit reporting arena, Kathy joined Citizens Bank, where she began her career in supermarket banking. With 11 years behind her, Kathy's developed a strong partnership with her team of business professionals who are committed to servicing the community's diverse range of customers. So please welcome Kathy Burnham.
Thank you, Tom. Colleen. Thank you, everyone. It's such a beautiful day today. Finally, we're getting rid of snow and ice and enjoying some sunshine and hopefully some green and some color soon. Thank you also, James, for putting on such a beautiful breakfast for us. It was very delicious. Thank you. As the branch manager of the Rhinebeck location, I've been with the location here for just about 2 years, and the goal of banking is always to service our customers in the community. With me today, actually they had to leave because someone has to run the shop. With me was our 2 senior personal bankers, Jennifer and Jacqueline, but I also have Ken Brana, as he introduced himself earlier. But for today, the main goal of why we felt it was important to sponsor the event was April is Financial Literacy Month. With financial literacy, there's so many avenues that we could speak to as far as children, their education, starting from early childhood all the way to college, and furthering that information with helping parents who are looking for affordable student loans, as well as potentially refinancing student loan debt today. What I have brought with me today is Ben Loya, who is our Vice President of Education Finance. He introduced himself earlier. And one thing I'd like to say is that Citizens Bank had announced on April 2nd the Citizens Bank Student Loan for Parents program. It's a new alternative to federal loans for parents who are helping students pay for college. This new loan is the latest offering from Citizens Bank designed to help people pay for higher education in a more affordable way, and further Citizens Bank better commitment to making banking simple, clear, and personal for consumers. In recognition of National Financial Literacy Month, I would like to introduce you to Ben Loya of Education Finance. Ben has 24 years of experience in higher education financing, business development, as well as project management. Ben has served in several positions in both the public and private sector and is currently Vice President, as we know, with Citizens Bank, based in New York City. Ben obtained a BS in Communications with a minor in Marketing from Arizona State University and a Master of Public Administration from the Brute College, where he was a National Urban Fellow. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome you to Ben Loya.
You tell me when I press the button.
Good. Okay. Again, thank you so much, Kathy, for inviting me, and Colleen, the Chamber. Such a pleasure to be here in beautiful Hudson Valley. Leaving New York was very easy, and I got to stay here last night in a wonderful hotel. Thank you, James, for the hospitality. Definitely want to come back. So what I'd like to talk with you today is really about some of the trends that are occurring in student lending, and then also what we're doing at Citizens Bank to help students and families, both finance their college education and then manage their debt once they graduate. Just on a personal note, I've been involved in education financing for so long. Just for me, it was a real passion. I'm one of 17 kids, number 16. You probably won't remember anything else I say but that. And I'm the only one who went on to college and was able to get a bachelor's degree and a master's. And higher education really is a great equalizer. It changes lives. I mean, went from working in the fields to working in a bank and doing tremendous things. And it not only changes your life, but goes around you. And I'm sure you all have stories like that. And being the superintendent, I'm sure knows a lot about these stories, and the professor at Marist. But again, it really, we are passionate at Citizens Bank about education. It changes lives, and we are coming up with some really innovative products for your students and families. Just quickly to go over some of the trends, and it's unfortunately all you see with college cost is everything's going up, and if you look at debt, in 1992, the average borrower indebtedness was $9,000, a little over $9,000. You go on to 10 years later, in 2002, it's doubled to $18,000, and then you look now at 2013-14, we're at $33,000. I mean, and we all know this because we know a lot of kids who are moving back in with their parents, That didn't happen, in years gone by, just to manage all this debt. And they're putting off all these other kinds of purchases, home loans and retirement, everything that they should be planning for in the future. And that's just student debt. The next slide, when you look at parent debt, this is really, it's just out of control. With the PLUS loan, the federal PLUS loan, you can borrow, it's a cost of education minus any financial aid. So basically, if the cost is $60,000 and you're getting $10,000, you can borrow the other $50,000. And there isn't any FICO score or underwriting. It's basically, the federal government just looks back 5 years at any derogatory credit. So you could actually be making $2,000 a year and borrow $50,000. And this is a conversation that we're not really having. Just today, I was on Morning Express. They were talking about student lending, but I never hear about parents. And parents are taking on more debt than the students, and plus the graduate plus loans, which also count in this group. But again, you see, it's from in '92 when parents were taking out $6,000. Now the average is $30,000, and that's just the average. Again, I know, for my sister, single parent, has a son at Hobart and William, and got a decent package, $32,000, but had to borrow the other $30,000. That's in 1 year, so it's $120,000 in 4 years. Again, this is something that's happening, to all of us. And then next slide. So basically, when we look at college affordability, I mean, it's going to continue to decline because grants aren't keeping pace with college costs. They just aren't. And then nationally, the federal state government hasn't been able to provide that kind of support. And so the burden of paying for college will continue to shift from the government to students and families. And that's what's been happening for many years. Education debt continues to increase. Family incomes have been flat for for the last at least 4 years. And we have seen some recovery, economic recovery. So there is a slight drop in the number of students that are borrowing, but the average debt per borrower still increases. But no matter what, I mean, we know that a college education in this country is a gateway to a bright future. So we are going to continue, and so it's about trying to find solutions to really help our students and families manage that debt more wisely. Next slide. And so at Citizens Bank, what we did this last year, we conducted a study called Informed, basically reaching out to 1,500 students, parents, college students, former students, and basically asking them about their experiences with debt, what they know about financing a college education, had they had the conversation with financial aid professionals, with the bank, with their parents. And the next slide, really, I mean, they don't. 54% of former students did not have any conversations about how student loan debt would be managed. And a lot of them, again, if you walk into any financial aid office, a lot of students will always say, I didn't know I had a student loan. I thought it was money, like a grant, but it's a loan. And then, and 77% of former students said that they wish that they had planned better for managing their student loan debt. So with that, the next slide. So basically, it's really just common sense. We really have to have the conversation more often. Again, starting really early in the elementary schools, definitely at the high school level, and so that, and then again, some parents are not comfortable having this conversation. Again, it has to do with money, and they don't have that conversation. But at Citizens Bank, we know we need to have that conversation with our customers. We weren't really doing a great job, I think, in the past. I mean, we can all say that it wasn't something that we were really focused on. And now, if you go to any of the branches, the bankers, the tellers are having that college conversation, asking, do you have a student loan? How are you paying for school? And trying to get better solutions for our customers and our students and families. Next slide. So again, at Citizens, we're committed to helping our students and families. We want them to make the right decisions, and again, because we do underwriting on these loans, so they are actually going to qualify for these loans. If they don't, then there should be other options for them, and we help them find those, whether they be with the federal government as well. And we have 3 decades of experience in education finance, and we continually strive to provide innovative solutions. And a few that I'm going to talk about today that we're really excited about, our education refinance loan, which has been tremendous. It was featured in the Wall Street Journal, recently in the Washington Post. It's really helped students and families, and we just launched this in September of last year, and we've already done over $1 billion and helped so many students and families. I mean, really helped them change their quality of life. And then as Kathy had mentioned, our new parent loan, which is competing directly with the Federal Plus loan that launched April 1st, my birthday, so April Fool's Day. And then we have also the multi-year option, which is launching in the summer. So we'll talk about those products as we move along here. So as you see, we have a whole suite of loan options for our parents, our students and families. We have the traditional undergrad student loan, which we've had for many years. It was called TrueFit. It's now, this year we're changing it to Citizens Bank Student Loan. We have the graduating professional loan programs, the MBA, the law, the med. We have the new parent loan launched April 1st, multi-year launching this summer, and the education refinance loan, again, which helps students once they've graduated from college, and that launched in September. And so just go through quickly some of the features, and with our traditional Citizens Bank student loan, again, with all our loans, there's no application, origination or disbursement fees. Borrowers have a choice of fixed or variable interest rates. We're finding most borrowers are choosing variable because it's low, really low at this point. Basically, you're at 2.5 LIBOR plus 2.5 on the low side. So, and LIBOR I think right now is 0.17, then we also offer the borrower benefits, a 0.25% for ACH and a 0.25% for a loyalty fee. I mean a loyalty discount if you have any product with us. So basically, you have another 0.5% taken off, and the fixed rate is as low as 5.75. And again, this is our traditional loan. Usually, a lot of the colleges and universities use this loan to bridge the gap between the funds that the student may be getting from the federal loan program, and also you have parents who use this loan so that because they're getting a lower interest rate. And then the next product, the graduate student loans. Again, we have it for the graduate students, MBA students, law students, medical and dental. Interest rates as low as 2.67, and you can lower that rate by 0.5 percentage points with the 2 discounts, and we have flexible repayment options and terms. So those are the general ones that we've always had. What we're excited about now is our new parent loan. Again, this just launched April 1st, and I'm really excited about this because, for one thing, I'm hoping that it's going to start a conversation about plus loans, and that right now, I mean, even when I visit the different colleges and universities, they're frustrated because they don't count that either. I mean, when you go and talk to them about their debt, parent loans don't count. And I'm like, well, that's part of the family, debt, but it doesn't count. So we're really not having that conversation, and we really should, because no matter how great your credit is, everyone gets the same rate, which is right now 7.21%. It's a high rate. And everyone gets that origination fee of 4.29%. And that's just, to us, ridiculous. I mean, why should parents be saddled with that origination fee? And so, like on a loan, on an average loan for a parent is usually like $14,500. That's $627 off the top of that loan. And I don't know how many financial aid advisors and counselors, directors have the call with the parent afterwards saying, what happened to my $15,000 loan? I got $14,200. And so they really are frustrated with that origination fee. So what we pledged to do is, with our new parent loan, is that we're going to beat that Federal Plus rate. It'll be as low as 6.7. That's with the 2 discounts, the ACH and also the loyalty benefit. And then, but at the mid, and they're also saving on that origination fee. So I mean, when you look at right now the Federal Plus loan portfolio, in a year they do about $10 billion. I mean, that's $433 million in fees. That it's just going to, I don't know what it's paying for, but it's certainly not helping the parents. And so that, again, has kicked off April 1st, and they're visiting the colleges and the universities, and they're really excited about it. They think, again, it's another option. It's not going to be for everyone, because, again, with our loan, you have to qualify. And we look at debt to income, we look at FICO, but for those students and families who want a better rate, they have that option. And I think we're doing a great thing, because if we can't beat the rate, we're referring our customers to the federal program, because why would we want them to have a higher rate? But this gives them another option. So excited about that. And then also the multi-year loan. This we're going to kick off in the summer, and it's going to be more of a soft launch where we're not really promoting it heavily. What will happen is when a borrower comes in and applies online, they don't come in, but when they go in and apply online, we realize that more than likely they're going to borrow for the 4 years. And why are we making them do a full application every year? So what we're going to do, again, no one's done it, no other lender in the country's done it, is we are, once they apply, and basically if they're applying for $15,000 for that first year, and we know from the information they're giving us that they qualify for $60,000, we're going to say, well, you actually qualify for the 4 years. It gives them peace of mind. It's great for admissions, for retention, because the family knows that they are covered for those 4 years. The rate is fixed. We do a hard pull on the credit that first time, but then wrap it up. And every other time, it's a soft pull. And so that's that loan. And real quick, the last one. The refi loan, again, it's been tremendous. This is for anybody who's already graduated, has all these different loans, and we're the first major lender that has offered consolidation on both private and federal. You can bring them all together. Our average savings have been $145 a month. We've seen, I know there's a gentleman in New York that's saving over $800 a month. I don't know what his debt was, but that's crazy. This is, I mean, it's really changing people's lives when you're saving them this kind of money and bringing all these loans in together. So you need more information. I think the next slide it's all on our website, and certainly your best resource here, your local bank, and Kathy and her folks can help you. And that pretty much sums up what we're doing, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. So I'm only slightly traumatized. I have a daughter that's a junior this year, so and how many of us, I know a lot of us have kids in college, right? Yeah, quite a few. So thank you very much, Ben. That was really, really informative.
Thank you.
So I'd like to ask Mark Fleischauer, president of our school board, to come up and say a few words.
Well, good morning, and thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for allowing us to speak to you today about the state of Rhinebeck schools. Mr. Phelan, who's the superintendent of schools, is going to speak right after me. I won't take up too much of your time. He's going to give you more of a picture of the state of Rhinebeck schools. Having grown up in the Rhinebeck school system, I can tell you we have great schools here. We always have. In the past year, we've been recognized in national publications for our academics. We have a National Merit Scholar finalist. We've won a state championship in athletics. This weekend, our drama club presented a wonderful musical. We've been awarded a Platinum School Safety Excellence Award by our insurance company. And with the help of the Rhinebeck Science Foundation, we cut the ribbon on our elementary school STEM lab. None of this would be possible without the support and hard work of our parents, teachers, students, administration, support staff, and community. Fortunately, we're able to do all this while we're constrained by this year's 2.17% tax levy cap and an increase in state aid of just $120,000. This $120,000 is just 4 1/1000ths of our 2015-16 budget. Rhinebeck is slated to receive $277,209, the smallest amount in the county, from the Smart Schools Bond Act. Much of this is due to our high combined wealth ratio. And I'll just mention, Joe and I were at a food drive over the weekend, and we heard there that despite our combined wealth ratio here in Rhinebeck, there are 200 families receiving food donations at our food pantries. So I just give a plug to the food pantry that if you can donate, please do that. While our budget's the hot topic lately, we've also been having discussions about school start time, teacher accountability, our technology project, state testing, including how much testing is appropriate, how test results should be counted toward teacher evaluations, the condition of our school buildings, and much, much more. My message to you today, and this applies, I know some of you went to Rhinebeck schools, some of you have children in the Rhinebeck schools, but it really applies no matter what school district you live in or where your children or grandchildren go to school. It's not about any of these topics in particular. We could have a full day discussion probably about any one of them. I'm here today to encourage you to support public education by getting involved and informed. No matter what your opinion is of the subjects I just mentioned, we need you to get involved by joining committees, writing letters to your legislators, sorry guys, and voting. You can come to one of our board meetings. We meet the second and fourth Tuesday of the month at 7:30 in the high school library, or you can watch them on YouTube. If you go to the rhinebeckcsd.org website, you can find links to the board meetings on YouTube. Contrary to popular belief, complaining about any of these issues on social media, while it make you feel better, it really doesn't get the job done. You need to be heard. So get involved. Public schools are under attack today from a government that wants to control costs, a government that wants to hold teachers and administrators accountable for poor student and school achievement. Schools, teachers, and administrators and students are getting squeezed in the middle of it all. Don't get me wrong, nobody's against keeping costs under control. Nobody is against accountability. However, we need to retain local control of our schools, and we can only do that with your help. Thank you for having us today, and I'll turn it over to Joe Phelan, who can tell you more about the state of Rhinebeck schools. Thank you.
Well, Mark, thanks. You did a fantastic job. I almost would have thought that we had cooperated on that. Mark took about half what I was going to say, but that's okay, because in the interest of time, we'll get you out of here at a decent hour. On May 19th, I heard several people this morning talk about various fundraisers they're doing, and on May 19th, all the school districts in the area are going to have a fundraiser, and it's called the annual budget vote. Well, that's pretty much what it is. Depending on what school district you happen to be a taxpayer in, the tax levy takes up more or less of the money needed to support that school district. School district like Rhinebeck depends a great deal on the tax levy to support its schools. We get very little in state aid, and we just figured out how to make do with that and provide a great education to the children of the school district. The whole thing starts every year in Albany with a state budget and the negotiations about a state budget. And this year was, I've been superintendent here at Rhinebeck, ending my 17th year here, 6 years at another school district before coming to Rhinebeck, and I can't remember a crazier budget year than this year. Unprecedented in a lot of ways. Typically, the governor proposes a state budget in early to mid-January. And why is that important for school districts? Because part of that state budget forecasts how much state aid school districts are going to get, at least approximately how much. This year was different. Our governor, and with advance apologies to any ardent Andrew Cuomo fans in the audience, this year our governor linked a bucket load of policy-related initiatives to the budget that had no really direct connection with the budget or financial matters, and essentially issued an ultimatum that unless his policy initiatives were approved, there would be problems with getting the budget through, put our legislators in a really tight spot. I won't speak to their angst. We've got enough of our own here in Rhinebeck. But the upshot of that was that for the first time in my entire career, the governor ordered no state aid runs be issued to school districts. So we were essentially flying blind throughout the whole budget development process. We believe in Rhinebeck, and most school districts believe in an open, lengthy, deliberative process of discussing expenditures and revenues and making the best decisions. And when somebody tells you, we're not going to tell you how much money you're getting this year, it makes that conversation very, very different. So we went into a budget development process with an assumption that we would get 0 additional state aid. It's never happened, but we had to assume something. We assumed the worst and hoped for the best. And our budget development process, Mark mentioned before that we have a tax levy cap. All school districts need to operate under a tax levy cap. Our cap this year was 2.17% increase in the levy. Our board gave us a mandate to stay within that cap, which makes sense. So we prepared a budget that would stay within that 2.17% tax levy and assume no additional state aid. And ultimately, we came up with a budget about 2 weeks before the state budget was finalized with a $300,000 gap between what we felt we needed to provide to our students and what we thought we'd be able to afford through the state's process. The state budget was passed on April 1st, or a few hours into April 1st. As Mark mentioned, Rhinebeck received the smallest increase in state aid, about $120,000. So do the math, 300,000 minus 120,000, we still had a $180,000 shortfall. We made some adjustments in our budget. We made some cuts to our budget to get that number down to where it is, and that's the number that's going to go to our taxpayers on May 19th for their consideration and for their approval. Without getting into some of the details, which time doesn't allow, I also want to mention to you, not just because they're here, but because you need to know that this is part of our process. Our Board of Education met with all 3 of the local legislators that represent all or part of our school district. Senator Serino, Assemblyman Cahill, and Assemblyman Barrett. We meet with them early on in the budget process to tell them what our needs are, quite frankly, in hopes that they will go to bat for us in Albany. And I can say that process has been a good one. It's not the first year we've done that. They're empathetic, and they're sensitive to our needs, and I believe they do as good a job as they can as individuals representing our needs in Albany. Nonetheless, there's a bigger machine in Albany than those 3 individuals, and we still wind up on the short end of the state aid stick this year. But so be it. We do the best with what we have. But I wanted to mention that that's part of our process, is working with our local legislators to communicate our needs to them. So Mark already went through all the budget information, so I don't have to rehash that. Thanks, Mark. You saved me a couple of minutes there. So what's the bang for the buck? And I'm just speaking strictly about Rhinebeck, although the other schools in Northern Dutchess, specifically Red Hook is also a high-achieving district. Rhinebeck has, for many, many years, been a high-achieving district. However, you might measure high achievement. There's test scores, but there are other things that, that we look at. Some of the things that we've been able to do in a very, very tight set of budget years since about 2008, when the economy took a crash and things really tightened up. This past year, in partnership with the Rhinebeck Science Foundation, we implemented a STEM. For those of you who don't know, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We implemented a STEM program in our elementary school, one of the handful in New York State that have an elementary school STEM program. We offer a half-time. We have a half-time teacher offering that program in our elementary school, and if our budget passes on May 19th, which I'm hopeful it will, of course, we plan to increase that to a full-time. So all of our elementary students, grades K through 5, males and females, and it's important to get our female students heavily invested in STEM skills at a very early age, will receive twice the STEM education that they're receiving this year. We've had a nationally recognized STEM program in our middle school for, I believe, at least 3 years, and 2 years ago we implemented STEM courses at our high school. So we currently are one of the few school districts in the area that offer a K-12 STEM program. Again, we couldn't have done that just with the money that we get from Albany or the money that we got from our taxpayers. The Rhinebeck Science Foundation, which is a local foundation, has given us a lot of help, especially on the bricks and mortar and technology hardware that we need for those programs. So that's something unique about Rhinebeck that we're very proud of. Mark mentioned some of the national and other recognition that that the Rhinebeck schools have received. In fact, last night, just before I left the office after a board meeting, I happened to log on and found out that we've just been recognized by the Washington Post as one of quite a few, but one of the most challenging high schools both in the state and in the country, ranked 92 statewide and 1,500th nationally. This is the 4th year in a row that we've been so recognized by the Washington Post. We've also been recognized by Newsweek and some of these other publications that do rankings. That said, I would tell you that I would not hang my professional hat on those kinds of rankings. They all use different methodologies. It's hard to compare apples to oranges, but anytime somebody wants to give our school district a pat on the back, I'll take it. And I think it is at least a very general indication that we're doing good work. But I didn't need to read that in Newsweek or the Washington Post to know that. We also have embarked on a very ambitious technology initiative to increase the access to computer hardware in our classrooms, more so than we have done already. Our goal ultimately is to have one-to-one access for our students so that every student has access to a computer in school every day. We're not there yet. That's going to be a multi-year process. This past year we provided laptop carts for each grade level, grades 3 through 5 in our elementary school, iPad carts at each grade level in grades K through 2. Next year we'll be providing laptop carts for each grade level in our middle school, and we intend to work that up into our high school and then provide multiple carts at each grade level as we go along. Again, this is a huge financial commitment, and we'll get there as soon as we can get there, but that's where we're headed. That's how this whole process works, from the deliberations in Albany to the local budget vote on May 19th to the actual implementation in the classroom. Again, I apologize for the really quick, broad brush because we're limited on time. But that's the state of the Rhinebeck schools. We're doing okay. Washington Post pats us on the back once in a while. We try to keep we do keep our tax levy within the tax levy limit. Everybody gets their little $50 check in the fall right before Election Day, and all is good in the world. Not that we don't have our problems and our issues, every school district does, but we feel we provide a top-notch program, opportunities for kids who want to take advantage of those opportunities. My youngest son graduated from Rhinebeck 2 years ago, is at the University of Georgia currently, and transferred in approximately 40 credits in AP. They granted him 40 credits based on his AP work at Rhinebeck High School, and he was not the exception at Rhinebeck High School. It was more the rule in terms of kids who want to push themselves and take advanced level courses. We offer as many AP courses as some large school districts in the county. So our kids, we try not to have our kids disadvantaged in any way, considering they're graduating from a small high school that has, small size has its inherent limitations. So we try to overcompensate for that so our kids are able to do what they want to do when they leave Rhinebeck High School. That said, and looking at the clock, if anybody has questions, I'd be glad to take them, as long as you don't throw me a question that's going to take 2 hours to answer. I'd be glad to take a shot. Okay? Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Joe. Really, nobody has questions? That's amazing. So you both did a wonderful job.
I just have a comment. AP courses, that's one way to save a lot of money on college costs. So you have to take advantage of it.
Yeah, you also have to have a student who's willing to graduate in 3 years. Unfortunately, mine is having such a good time. It is enabling him to double major in Spanish and international business.
So thank you all. I just really thank Joe and Mark for being here. And again, the school is open to so many things. Nina and Joe and I were at a meeting yesterday for the Committee on Aging, and we talked about having, I haven't come up with a better term for it yet, but like a showcase for all the services that are here in Rhinebeck for our aging community. We have, Nina, do you have a statistic of what our population is over 60? I can't remember what you said. 1 in 3 in our community now is over 60 years old. So I know my mom, having relocated from Washington, D.C. up here, and lots of friends' parents are moving up here. It's really important. So we are talking about doing a showcase like that in the fall. We're going to hold it at the school. So that's really exciting, and that's just a way that the school does really work with us in the community, and I try very hard to incorporate the business community in the school, and so we can all support each other, and it's a really nice relationship, so I thank you all for that. Without further ado, we have the 50-50, which we have a scholarship fund that we award $1,000 to a graduating Rhinebeck High School senior. And the pot today was $60, so thank you all very much. So the take is
pick out
30.
50-50.
I think that's right. Kathy's going
Enough to fill your gas tank.
Yeah. Right now, if you do the Stop and Shop rewards, it can fill your tank twice. Yeah. Somehow, in like 2 weeks, I get 1,000 points. I'm not really sure how that happens, but.
The 50-50 winning number is 592296.
Your blue tickets.
The blue ticket, 296.
Got it.
It's right.
Betsy?
Donate it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And our door prize this morning is a wonderful bottle of spirits from Old Mill Wine and Spirits. Can't draw your own, Gail.
Charles, is that correct?
So that's your red tickets behind your name tag for some of you.
If you pull your own, we're
No,
sharing
it's
it.
not.
328660. 660. All right, good, let me get that
Okay, everybody, thank you very much. Please take your information from citizens on your tables with you, and we'll see you all hopefully next Wednesday at the Beacon Arts.